Welcome to my TV studio. I am the producer and my job is to make sure that whatever happens in the studio takes place perfectly. I am involved in every aspect of this process, from pre-production to production and to post-production. In pre-production, I've got to make sure that all the scripts and storyboards are prepared for our upcoming shoots in the studio. And before we do film in the studio, I've got to make sure that all the equipment and the studio itself is booked. When we are in the studio, it's my job to make sure that I communicate with everybody within the studio to make sure they do their job well. Because if they do not do their job well, then it's my fault, and if the show becomes a failure, I am a failure. As your role as a producer, you've got to take your job very seriously. Make sure that no one's lying down on the job.
Oh, why?
You idiot!
Hi, I'm the floor manager, and it's my job to make sure everything on the set runs smoothly. This involves making sure all the equipment is working before and during the show. I'm the link between the gallery and the floor. I receive my instructions via this headset from the director in the gallery. I have to let everyone know what's going on, help with the cues, and look after our actors and audience.
Take the standard 3-point lighting technique, which invokes the key light, the strongest and most influential to the image, the fill light, which basically fills in the shadows left from the key light, and the backlight, which brings definition and dimension to the subject. Now let's look at the finished result. As you can see, the shot is well defined, lit and professional.
Hi, I'm the sound technician, or sound recorder if you prefer, and it's my job to record live sound on set of a TV production. This is a speaker, by the way. It doesn't look like a speaker, it looks like a f***ing box, but it's a speaker. So anyway, I'm in charge of the deployment and choice of different microphones, as well as occasionally having to adjust live audio levels using the mixer here. So what you hear and what you see in perfect sync at all times. Got it? Good.
Hi, I'm the graphics operator. I prepare and display on-screen graphics to go on the air, usually via the use of graphics operating software on a computer. I conduct this role during an in-studio shoot, with a swift reaction and flexibility to opportunities for the display of graphic as required by the action on the camera.
My job is to make sure all the shots are framed correctly. I have to work closely with the gallery. It involves a lot of communication, as I need to frame the shots and the gallery need to tell me what they want to shoot, as the director may change their mind at any point. Before we start to shoot, we need to make sure all the equipment works. It's positioned correctly, white balanced and focused. We use the rule of thirds while framing shots, as this is where you break your shot down into 3 pieces. With a person, you make sure they're correctly positioned with a centered shot for a wide angle and a slightly justified one when using close-ups. This also works for interviewing.
Hi there, I'm in charge of the teleprompter, which, if you didn't know already, is the pre-prepared auto cue that presenters read from live on air. It forces me to set up the teleprompter ahead of time by entering the relevant information concerning the current scene. I may also have to edit or update the teleprompter in real time during the show if there are any errors. It's also up to me to gauge the reading patterns of the presenters so that the teleprompter does not move too fast or too slow, causing script errors.
Cut. Let's try again, Max. Hi, I'm the director, and my responsibility is to make sure that all the ideas that the producer has come from the storyboards and the scripts into the video and sound. I constantly work with my cast and crew, motivating them to try to get the best performance possible in order for this project to be as perfect as possible. I constantly work with the producer every day until this process is finished to make sure that we have the best possible product for our audience, even constantly making changes should things not work, and that's a natural part of the process. You're in charge of everyone, and if anything happens within the studio, it's your responsibility.
The runner may be lowest on the payroll, but the job is certainly not unimportant. On a technical level, the runner must assist other members of the crew, like the sound operator, by equipping presenters and guests with standard radio mics. Or, in more extreme circumstances, handheld mics. Here, I must locate the corresponding cable, in this case, an XLR. I better get this hooked up.
Hi, I'm the editor. I work in tandem with the director in editing the film that has been shot. I have the ultimate accountability for editing choices, but often I have substantial contribution in the creative decisions concerned in piecing together a finalised product. There are several editing stages. In the first stage, I am supervised by the director who spells their vision to me. Therefore, this first rough cut is created during offline editing. After the first stage, the following cuts may be supervised by one or more television producers who represent the production company and its investors. Consequently, the final cut is the one that most closely represents what the studio wants from the film and not necessarily what the director wants during online editing.